Now, while everything was happening with the attorneys, I was still in LA, and I felt like I was living a double life because I was transitioning from being a songwriter to becoming a fashion stylist. I was writing songs with Faith Evans. I'm traveling the world with Tashina Arnold, hanging out in the clubs with Nicole Murphy. Like, the girl was out there still living her life, but it felt very strange because I knew everything that was going on at home. I was still being followed. My phone was still being tapped. So at this point, I knew I needed to call in the big guns because I'm like, okay, we're up against the wall right now, but we need help. So I'm calling people. I'm like, who can help me? What can we do? I need to get to Reverend Al Sharpton. So I called a friend. He called somebody and he got me in touch with Reverend Al Sharpton. And he graciously took my call every time I spoke to him. He wanted to help. He was willing to help, but there were some situations that prevented him from helping because, again, this was a very serious, federal case, and you got to enter something like that at your own risk. It's because you don't know, it can backfire on you. So a lot of people were very nervous, and rightfully so. So I asked one of the celebrities that I was friends with at the time to help me. And what I wanted her to do was to reach out to big politicians. I said, I would write the email, but I need the email to come from you because they're going to answer an email from you way before they're going to answer an email from me. She agreed with no hesitation. She's sending the emails out to all the people I'm asking her to send the emails out to. Everyone is graciously accepting her email and taking a meeting. So now me and this person, my celebrity friend, I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants this information out. But so we had to go to these meetings. We were in LA, so we had to go to New York, DC, wherever the meetings were. And you guys, you know what? She didn't even let me pay for her flights. I was like, okay, well, since you're doing this for me, let me pay for your flights so I can get you there. She wouldn't even allow me to pay for her flights. She helped me so graciously, contacted all of the politicians, secured the meetings, flew herself to the meetings, sat in on the meetings, and did any and everything she could to support me and my family. And that is what you call support. As a matter of fact, when my mom finally did go away, she made sure she sent my mom cards and letters all the time throughout the entire sentence. Thinking about that really gets me so emotional because, she didn't have to show up in the way she did. She went above and beyond. So the same thing happens. They start out hot and heavy. We see your mom is innocent. We're going to do what we need to do to help her. And after a few months of them finally figuring out what happened, I assume, they all go ghost. They all go missing. Same story. And the only reason we knew it was something bigger going on is because that one family attorney let us know. And then the other attorney who did not back down was unalived. So we knew something big was going on. So again, all of them, once they figured it out, they just kind of backed down. Now we're going through the trial. The trial was horrific, you guys. She has a public attorney, which that is absolutely awful. Every time we'd show up in the courtroom, we could see the other side speaking to the witnesses that my mom had set for her, which is not right. And during the trial, every person that got on the stand who had been doing some wrongdoings with the people at the office that were doing the wrongdoings, they all said the same thing. We never met Ms. Brown. We never met her. We didn't know who she was. We thought so-and-so was the owner of the company. But it didn't matter because so-and-so must have already knew that they were in over their heads and made sure that they were going to be okay throughout this process and made sure that my mother would take the fall. They had an entire chart up on the wall with a graph of a picture of my mom, a picture of me, a picture of my brother with like arrows pointing. And it was trying to say, this is where the money is going. And the public defender was doing nothing. It got so bad that my mom tried to defend herself at some point. And this was horrible to watch because she doesn't know how to do that. But at this point, she's like, I don't know what to do. they are definitely sinking this ship purposefully. And when they read the guilty verdict, we all just sat there in disbelief. Now, let me take you back a little bit. Before the trial even started, when all of this stuff came down, I tried to beg and plead with my mother to take a plea deal because I know how these Fed situations end up. It's really hard to beat the Feds. But her position was, I didn't do anything. I am innocent, and I'm not going to say I did something that I didn't do. So I'm going to fight this case. And she lost and was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison. Now, you would think this is where the story goes downhill from here, but actually, it kind of gets fucking hilarious. Whilst in prison, she had... Okay, I'm going to tell you the funniest thing before we move to the next part. The funniest thing that happened when she was in prison was that I had a meeting, a styling meeting with Abby Lee Miller's publicist. You guys know who Abby Lee Miller is, right? From Dance Mom. She was in prison with my mom. She looked gorgeous while she was in prison, by the way. She looked amazing. Her hair was laid every single time I saw her in that visiting room. My mom and she had spoken about me. Abby was like, she's coming home. She needs a stylist. Her publicist was there one day, and we planned to meet in the parking lot of a federal prison. That's one of my two truths and a lie thing, because no one ever thinks that actually happened. But yeah, I had a styling meeting with the PR for Abby Lee Miller in the parking lot of a federal prison.